Meet Otto, a man who will go to war over a parking space, a mailbox, a recycling bin left 3 inches far from the left, but who cannot say one word about the empty chair across from him. Every morning, Otto walks the same loop. He checks the gate, he checks the shed, he makes sure no one has parked where they shouldn't. It looks like control, it looks like discipline, but watch closely and it starts to look like something else. A man trying to keep one small part of the world in order because the rest of it fell apart the day his wife died. If you've ever snapped at someone over something small while the real thing stayed buried underneath, this video is for you.
If you feel useless, Otto's story will heal you. In his quiet journey, you'll find hope and purpose. Let his story guide you.
I'm Jay Lee, and this is Deeper into Film, where movies help us understand the parts of our life we do not always know how to name. Since we are going deep today, consider this your spoiler warning. We're covering the whole story, including the ending. Last time, we talked about failing the people closest to us. This time, it's about what happens after, when pain becomes so heavy that you stop letting anyone close at all. He has lost his wife, Sonia. Then he loses his job. Then a new family, loud, messy, alive, moves in next door, led by a very pregnant woman named Marisol, who has no idea what she's about to walk into. And that's the whole plot. But the real story isn't the plot. It's what underneath it. Otto isn't grumpy. That's the costume the trailer sells you. In his world, a car parked 2 inches over the line is treated as a violation on the scale of the Geneva Convention. But underneath the rule is a man whose entire world collapsed, who finds it easier to fight about a rope than to say, I don't know who I am without her. You know, coldness and hurt look identical from the outside, but they are not the same thing. Coldness means you stopped caring. Hurt means you carry it so much that some part of you build a wall to make sure it never happens again. Otto's rules are that wall. His schedule is that wall. You know, his need for everything to be done correctly. That is that wall too. If you can control the small things, maybe the big thing that breaks you won't feel so powerful. And walls work for a while. Yes, they keep out disappointment. They keep out the risk of losing someone twice. But they also put out the phone, call you needed, the neighbor who couldn't help, the friend who was trying. That's the trait nobody tells you about. The same wall that protects you from the pain also blocks the life still trying to reach you. There's a quiet detail worth pausing on. Otto used to have a friend, Ruben, right across the street. They fought about something small years ago and never really recovered. Now they're just two old men who won't look at each other over a fence. It's easy to miss, but it's the whole movie in miniature. A friendship that could have survived, buried under a disappointment. Neither of them was willing to be the first to end. That's what walls do over time, yes. They quietly bury the old ones too. Then Marisol arrives, not as a therapist, but with a speech. She just needs a driving lesson. Her kids are loud. Her life spills over the fence. She doesn't ask permission to matter to him. She just keeps showing up again and again with food, with favors, with noise. Philosopher Emmanuel Levinas believed that another person can interrupt the closed world we build around ourselves, and that we don't truly wake up to our own life until someone else's need breaks in. Otto wants no interruptions. Marisol is one, and somehow that interruption becomes mercy. The Tao Te Ching says that what is soft can outlast what is hard. Water does not break stone with force. It simply keeps returning. Marisol doesn't break Otto's walls by force either. She simply keeps returning with life. You know, dinner on a plate, a kid who needs watching, just one request for one more favor, and eventually the wall is no longer the most important thing in the room. He starts helping before he starts healing. That might be the most useful thing this film hands you. Yeah. You don't have to feel ready, but Otto never feels ready. He's still blunt, still sad, still Otto. But he shows up before he feels whole. And the participation itself is what starts to change him. Not because it erases the grief, but because it proves the proof is not the only thing left inside him. But be careful with that idea because it has a trap in it. Otto does not become worthy because he becomes useful. He was already worthy, alone, angry, grieving, unable to see a future. Helping others does not give him value. It helps him feel his value again, surely. But if you've spent years believing you only matter when you're productive, working, providing, fixing things, being needed, this film is quietly arguing the opposite. You're not valuable because you're useful. You're valuable even when you're tired, even when you're grieving, even when you do not know what to do next. Yes. Now, this does not mean every closed door should be opened. No. Some relationships need distance. Some need firm boundaries. Yes. Some are genuinely unsafe, and walking away from those is not failure. It's wisdom. Otto's story is not a rule that says let everyone in. It's a question. Is this wall protecting me from harm? Or is this protecting me from ever being known again? Those are not the same thing, and Otto had confused the two for years. Yes, here's the part that might sting a little. Otto believes that if he lets new people matter to him, he's betraying Sonia, that caring about anyone new means the love he had wasn't enough. Maybe you felt a version of this. After a divorce, guilt for laughing again. After retirement, guilt for building a new life because it feels like leaving the old one behind. After losing someone, believing that staying sad is the only proof if you ever loved them. But the film says something gentler. Grief is not the only proof of love. Sonia isn't erased when Otto lets Marisol's family in. She's carried forward. The kindness Otto starts giving again, the courage he finds, the way he starts protecting people again, none of that is betrayal. It is evidence of what she built in him while she was alive. He doesn't move on from her. He moves forward with what she left behind. And that maybe is what healing quietly is. Not forgetting, not replacing, not pretending the loss didn't matter. No, just letting love take a new shape, one that still has room for grief inside it. Otto has not become a different person. He can still give a look that could freeze a parking meter. He still checks the gate every morning. But he's not alone with it anymore. Ruben is not fully mended, but the door is not locked the way it once was either. And that's the whole miracle of this film. Not that the grief disappears, but that a man who had closed every door lets life reach him again, one small interruption at a time. So here's my question for you. What's one small door you've closed because you got hurt? A message you keep avoiding. A call you keep putting off. An invitation you always decline out of habit. A friendship left to go quiet because neither side wanted to be the first to reach out. A part of yourself you stopped sharing because it felt safer to stay hidden. You don't need a breakthrough this week. You don't need to be ready. You don't need to become cheerful overnight. No, just leave it open. 1 inch is enough. Yes. And if that speaks to you, write 1 inch in the comments. You don't have to explain something more. You're not cold. You got hurt. And getting hurt does not mean you have to stay alone forever. I'm Jay Lee, and this is Deeper into Film. If this found you at the right moment, subscribe and push the notification button for more. Thank you for watching.